Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected.
So this is the kind of thing where I would never get into a relationship with a man ever again. And even if I did, he would never know them. He would never have an opportunity to meet them. He would never have an opportunity to be in my house, be anywhere near anything to do with my kids. I will be a mother over here, and we can date and do whatever over here. That's it. What's good, guys? Christina Sky here. Hello. We got a bit of a depressing one today. I don't know if it's triggering. That's the word I'm looking for. We got a triggering one today. So, trigger warning, all of that. I heard like a brief summary of this video, and I just was like, oh, again? You saw the title, and it's not even a laughing matter. And I'm just kind of tired of it. Let's just watch the video. You'll see where I'm coming from. Okay, so this video is called I Married a Monster, and it's by this woman. I've never seen her channel before. I've never watched her videos before, but she kind of gives a brief synopsis or blurb of her channel, of what she talks about. You'll understand why this is just like, it's disappointing. It's expected kind of at this point, but it's very disappointing. But yes, definitely trigger warning for everyone. Let's just watch.
Hi ladies, hi trophies, welcome back to my channel.
I'm gonna speed it up because
welcome if you're new here. If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my second trimester, and
so think about this as well. Like, she's just had a baby. She's just had another baby, and all this is happening. Obviously, you don't know what's happening yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's not that long of a video, so don't worry.
Yeah, I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born, and I said that I would be back soon. That was a few months ago now. Unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband.
So, like, just to briefly summarize, this young woman has kids, and she makes her channel about basically being a trophy wife, being a trophy husband, how to do it, ins and outs, all that kind of stuff. That's her whole channel. So she basically says eventually that she has been making all these videos about this perfect man, about having a perfect husband, and then imagine seeing a video saying, I married a monster after all of that. Imagine you're a fan and that's what you see. She could have just easily pretended like it didn't happen, completely disappeared, or just kept making videos of the same content and just not address the subject and led people to believe something that isn't exactly true. So yeah, I think sometimes things like this need to be highlighted, because sometimes people live in this bubble of like, oh my god, my perfect man, my perfect wife.
Honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left, because I've just cried so much. It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provide a man and all these different things. And I truly held my husband, or saw him, as the bar. The person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare. So
I'm not even got it because I've seen a summary, so I'm kind of knowing what's gonna come up, but I can't. I don't even. Sometimes I don't even want to watch these things because I feel like my whole brain is gonna be messed up by the end of it. My whole idea of life, my whole worldview.
I think it was my single mom video. I explained, a little bit about how we met, and so when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man.
So that's the problem with like relationships, men especially. I'm assuming women probably do it as well, but especially men. I'm only talking from my experience of what I've experienced in life, but so many times I'll meet a, I say so many times, I haven't met a man in years. Previously, when I met men, most of the time they picked me. I never really picked a man. Most men pick me because I'm demi, so it's very hard for me to just pick someone and go with it. I have to know someone first to be able to then go with it. So it's very difficult for me. So I ended up before just going with the men that chose me. And a lot of the time, you'll notice as time goes on, as you get older, that men tend to put on this really, really strong, fake, perfect good boy act. They present themselves in the most perfect way. They say the most perfect things. They say what you want to hear just so they can get in. And then when they feel like enough time has passed, that's when the demons come out. But this is the same with this woman. Like, she's saying he's perfect, Christian, all this kind of stuff. And you have to be careful. Like, with that particular, you have to ignore anything a man says in the first year of your relationship. After the first year or so, that's when you really get to know who the man is. Because he starts getting lazy. He starts thinking, oh, I've got her now. She's mine now. I can't be asked. I'm just going to be myself. That's when you truly can say whether you can love him or not. Whether you love him or not.
Christian man, and I believed him. I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed.
I wonder how long they were together to then get married. That's what I would like to know. But I guess it doesn't really matter, does it?
With him, and I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
What? I'm not smiling because I'm happy. I have an awkward smile. It just happens. I'm sorry. Sometimes there's an awkward laugh. It just happens, okay? Damn. 4 times. After they got married as well. So it's even more difficult. It's even more difficult to just be like, oh, we're done. So like, oh man, I feel so bad for her. I feel disgusting. I feel so sick. First few months of marriage as well, 4 times. See, it's like they know, they're like, oh, got her now. She's mine now. Can't run away now. I think as well, they try and find out your values and whether you're the kind of person who will leave if they do the worst kind of stuff. Oh my god, now I'm like starting to understand. Okay, wait, let's continue. Let's get through this. I'm sorry, girl. I'm so sorry. Honestly.
It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start.
She shouldn't have to get past this. She should be able to just leave. It shouldn't have to be anything like she feels guilty or feels like she committed to this. Like, that's kind of one of them things where he's betrayed your trust. Now it's time to get out. Now it's time to leave. He made that choice. It's time to go. He should face the consequences of his actions, not you should stick by him because, like, why did he even need to do that? Like, why? It doesn't make, like, obviously I don't understand the relationship. I'm not in the relationship, but I don't understand why anyone needs to do any of that. No matter how desperate you are, you're not going to die without it. You don't need to cause that harm onto someone. Like, this isn't like, oh, you crashed onto an island. Those people who crashed onto that island, some of the people died and they had to eat the dead people to survive. And then they came back and it was like, oh, they would never be blamed. Like that is understandable in that situation. But you're not gonna die if you don't get some. You know, you're gonna survive. You're gonna be okay. But he decided, I just don't understand people. I don't understand it.
6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and
why would you put an advert right there? Like, I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I already could tell it's gonna happen just from the premise and the summary that I saw.
My 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive, and immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh God. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but
Gonna red now. And this is a big reason why women don't want children. Yeah, we can't afford them. Also, you want us to have them with people who violate us? Okay, well, let's just make it very clear. Because I know this, I don't want people to be like, this is a woman-hating channel. I know not all men will do this. I know not all men will do this. But it's very scary that there's so many stories. There's so many instances of this happening that it's scary. I'm just, I feel weird. I feel sick. And I want to cry with her.
When she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house. Because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie. And that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was going to go Halloween shopping with my sister.
So she has 2 older boys as well. So I'm assuming these 2 older boys came from another relationship because she says she's a single mom, and then the 2 younger girls, because I heard there was 2 younger girls in the summary, were from him. You know, she is calmer than I would be because I wouldn't even wait for him to get home. I would, as soon as those words of Daddy did it came into my ears, you would never see me again. Then again, I'd want my other kids too. I wouldn't want to leave my other kids with him either. So maybe I would wait. She's like, this is like, they say like, oh, she's so brave. This, oh, knowing that and having to face him, no freaking way.
So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old.
I don't think I knew that they were 2 and 4. She only heard about the 4-year-old. I guess because the 4-year-old can speak. Didn't she just have another baby as well? How do men do this? How do men do this? To a child as well. Babies and children. Go freaking put your pee in a freaking... I would rather find out. It's sad that I have to pick between the 2. Yeah, I would rather find out that my husband was cheating on me with another woman or another man. In fact, because I don't care about that stuff. I'd rather just find out he was cheating with another adult than find out this. I can't. Oh my God. do you know what? It's so horrid to me and sickening to me that I don't even want to be with a man to potentially get pregnant and be in that kind of situation. I never want to bring a child here into this world where there are men or women sometimes who would violate my children, or any children, in fact. And the thing is, as well, she could have brushed it off and be like, oh, just kids, she's 4 years old, kids say things, it's just the nappy rash, you know. But do you know what? It became instantly believable because of what he previously did to her. If he could do that to her, there is a very clear possibility that he could do that to her kids. Because she saw him as the perfect man. She saw him as perfect. Christian as well. I mean, Christianity can be a bit of sus sometimes, especially in the church, apparently. But I don't know if that's just some stereotype rumor or whatever. But yeah, the fact that he had this perfect image, he broke that perfect image, and then her 4-year-old says this, you don't doubt ever your 4-year-old in that situation. But if he didn't previously do anything that was out of character or broke that perfect image, I think she might have questioned it a little bit, like, I don't know if this is just my 4-year-old saying stuff, you know? Would she have got her kids tested if he didn't break that perfect image? It's wild, man. It's wild. It's so wild. Sorry, I can't. I can't. This is hurting me. This is hurting me so badly. It's like, are you that down bad that you have to do something like that? Just leave kids out of it. You know, just leave the kids out of it. They're so innocent as well. They're so little. And it's like, what's wrong with you?
Like, I couldn't even go to sleep in my own house and know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected.
So this is the kind of thing where I would never get into a relationship with a man ever again. And even if I did, he would never know them. He would never have an opportunity to meet them. He would never have an opportunity to be in my house, be anywhere near anything to do with my kids. I will be a mother over here, and we can date and do whatever over here. That's it. This is the kind of thing that makes you just not want to date, not want to be with a man. Like, it just makes you want to shut down everything and just be like, no. Yeah. This is just what, those lists that they have on TikTok and Instagram Reels or whatever, where they add to the list of the reasons why you shouldn't get a boyfriend or have kids or stuff like that. This is it. And I don't know if there is an increase or there is just more exposure, but I have never been so informed about men taking advantage of kids. I'm trying to think of the way to say it without getting in trouble. Men taking advantage of kids. I've never been so aware of it. When I was younger, I did not know about this stuff. My parents never taught me about this stuff. I had my own situations, I had my own situations away from my family where there would be grown men who would violate and do stuff, but it was seen as normal back then. It was seen as okay, as like, yeah. When you're older than like 12-ish, I think there's a blurry line of when people would make men accountable for those actions, as well as women. Women were let off way more than men, I think, back in the day, when it came to women dating younger men. because, you know, they used to make it seem like boys would enjoy that kind of thing, which is very inappropriate. I think I'm kind of happy now more people are protecting children, doing what they can to get away from these situations. I wish that when he did the things up straight after they got married, I wish that, you know, she just left. But obviously, I know some people take marriage way more seriously and say, we'll get through it, we'll do this, we'll do that. And maybe they had an agreement, maybe they had an understanding. Obviously, I'm not in their world, I'm not going to understand why she stayed or why he did those things. But I'm hoping those kids are not ever put in that situation ever again, and they're young enough to not even know that it happened to them and that they can forget about it. Although she has posted a video now online, so those kids will know no matter what when they grow up. I've just realized, how can you do that to your own daughters? How? I feel sick. That's all I can say is I feel sick, and I just don't understand why people can do these kind of things to kids. And I hope I never ever meet someone who has ever done anything with a child, ever, or would even think to do something with a child if they had the opportunity, because that's not my kind of people. Let's learn from this, people. Let's learn. Be aware, be vigilant, guys. Be aware, be vigilant. Keep your kids safe. If you feel like you're watching this and you're someone who has those thoughts, maybe it's time for you to go and get some help, advice, some medical attention, only because you're potentially at risk of hurting individuals who cannot protect themselves, who are innocent and vulnerable. If you have those thoughts or feelings, go talk to someone, please. Go and talk to somebody. Man or woman. So I know women can have these thoughts too, I think. I'm assuming so. Because there's women I've seen so many freaking female teachers sleeping with their young male students, and I'm like, I hope that she can find some sort of way to live her life peacefully and happily outside of this situation. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? I'm so like, let's leave the energy. Let's continue our life. Not all men, remember, not all men, but some men, yes, some women do. Thank you guys for watching. This is just like an awareness thing. It's the only reason why I've reacted to it, because I felt like this is happening way too often. And I want it to stop. It can bring awareness to hopefully stop someone from doing it, because they see the result of the results afterwards, that the repercussions, or it helps someone to realize the signs and be like, oh wait, maybe I should go get my children tested or something like that. You do feel like someone's in trouble, help them get help. That's all I gotta say. Let's just protect them kids, okay? Protect the kids. Alright? Thank you for watching. Love and light.